Mick.
She was black, beautiful and talented, and sometimes just that bit temperamental as a 2-year-old, but made rapid progress at 3 to win the AJC Oaks with Higgins aboard. Cummings then set her for the Caulfield Cup. In the spring, Higgins won the Turnbull Stakes on the mare, but couldn't make her Caulfield Cup weight. Mick Mallyon could.
Roy Higgins apparently was talking to him, and he said, well, if he could ride the weight, that's the horse that he'd be riding in the Cup. So with that, I said, well, if it's bloody good enough for Roy Higgins, it's got to be good enough for Mickey Mallyon. So
600 to go. Dandy Gem a length in front of Monolect. In the centre there is, on the inside, rather Special Boy. Over on the outside of it, Marinoto, and Arama's dropped out. It's 1,000,000 to 1. Lalani going very well, looking for a rails run, and Martindale running on. Into the straight they race now, and the leader Dandy Gem, but Leilani's got out with Special Boy and coming at the leader. Leilani dashed to the lead. Bellotta's the danger out wide from Special Boy and Monolect. Leilani in front, Bellotta trying hard, but Leilani stretching right out like a real Cup horse. And Leilani striding away. Here's the Caulfield Cup favourite. Leilani goes on to win by 3 lengths to Bellotta.
I didn't know how much ability she had before the Toorak. I was only going on what Roy had spoken of. But after I rode her in the Toorak, it just went into the Cup as far as I was concerned as unbeatable. That's barring any unforeseen happening, you know.
Mallyon wasn't the only one who thought she could win.
Unbeatable. That's how it turned out.
Racing this time.
She jumped and began well.
But Heising this time.
She jumped and began well, and I made my way across to the inside, never stopped going forward, and took up a lovely position. And she was always in a forward position, probably in the first half dozen all the way. Really, one of them rides to be dreaming of.
The judge in the Cup. 1.5 lengths to go, fun. Leilani third on the fence. Ahead away, Gay Icarus. And with 700 to go, Leilani's been taken to the lead. A neck in front of Asgard. 1 to Gay Icarus getting through on the fence. 1 length to Igloo. Arama's struggling. Then Lord Metric, followed by Broadway Hit, running on from Pilfer Turf Cutter. Behind them, Go Fun, beaten from Grand Scale, Princess Eulogy, and Like a Lover's Last. Gay Icarus and Leilani sprinted away at the 500. They're 6 lengths in front of Igloo, with Turf Cutter running on from Lord Metric and Broadway Hit. Leilani has dashed clear as they straighten for home. Mallyon riding for dear life, and Leilani's run 3 lengths in front of Gay Icarus. 4 lengths away, Turf Cutter, Igloo, Broadway Hit, Pilfer, but with 150 to go, Leilani 3 lengths in front. Gay Icarus is weakening, and then Turf Cutter, but it's Leilani's Caulfield Cup. The Bonnie Mare's going to win by 4 lengths. Broadway Hit flashing up for second. Turf Cutter third. Ahead away, Gay Icarus.
Broadway Hit followed by Pilfer. A gap then to Lord Metric, and Arama is losing ground. On the turn now, it looked a match into where Gay Icarus joined by Leilani, and there's not much between the pair of them. Rounding the home turn now, and Leilani on the outside has reached the lead. Leilani is clear of Gay Icarus. A long gap further back as Turf Cutter. Broadway Hit is coming home well, then Igloo followed by Asgard and Pilfer. But halfway down the running, and Leilani is well clear of Gay Icarus. Here comes Turf Cutter, and Broadway Hit from a long way back, followed by Pilfer. But Leilani is well out in front. She's got the Cup one. She's too good. And the bonny little mare goes to the line, Leilani, to win it well. 2.5 lengths to Broadway Hit. 2.5 further back, third Turf Cutter, followed by Gay Icarus and Pilfer. And the winner of the Caulfield Cup coming back to scale with Mick Mallyon. Looks a very proud jockey as he comes back. He already had won Caulfield Cups in 68 on Bunready Castle and 71 on Gay Icarus, and has now completed the treble as far as Caulfield.
2 to Pacitel, and Battle Heights is in last place and pulling.
Cox Plate 1974 erupted into a frenzy when Battle Heights stampeded from last at the 600 metres. The Kiwi champ had crossed the Tasman 7 times for Australian races, but this was his finest.
Igloo going for the rails run. He might beat them all, the old fellow. Ken Mark the leader with Igloo out after him from Bellotta and Tara's Bulba. Igloo put his head in front on the fence, but here's Battle Heights from last. Battle Heights swamping them, dash to the lead, and Battle Heights has won it. Tara's Bulba.
1970.
A big field of 25 are to face the starter for the run down the straight 1,200 metres in the $40,000 Craven A Stakes. New Zealander Grey Way is outright favourite from Coolalingga, with number 11 Scamander, the third choice. And to call the race, here's Bert Bryant.
25 of them stand in pretty well.
Often Racing, Scamander with a baldy face jumped out in front of Star Plus, and Count Carl began very fast. Going quickly, Count Carl. So too is Disciple, gathering pace very, very quickly. Wider out in the centre of the track, Bo Ghost is one of the leaders out there, with Prince Shifnal showing pace, and so too from Pure Luck. Also nicely positioned out wide as Saints Way, and coming into the picture is Lord Kingston. Coolalinga on the grandstand rail, followed by Marinoto. There's a flat side division which is being led by Disciple from Scamander. Just in behind them, going well as Star Plus, so they're followed closely by Keep the Change. Coming into the picture is Vain Prince. In behind them came Sincere Pride of Calter. They're followed further out by Bay Time, and then Valley Moss and Kister. And also there at the head of the others, beaten at that stage, is Grey Way, with about 100 metres left to go. Over on the inside, Scamander's got to the front now from Disciple, and Scamander's won from Disciple. Third is Bay Time. Fourth in the race, Valley Moss, followed by a Calter. Vain Prince, Keep the Change.
It's a sensational return to the winner's circle by the 3-year-old Chestnut Gelding, who was forced out of racing 6 weeks ago with a severe stomach complaint. Much credit is given to trainer Bob Hoisted for bringing Scamander to peak fitness. Stevens by Councillor Walker, Lord Mayor of Melbourne. And Scamander is acclaimed as another of Victoria's great sprinters.
Mallyon was suspended after the Cup, and with Higgins also on the sidelines, the brilliant Peter Cook was substituted. Leilani and Cook combined to win the McKinnon Stakes 3 days prior to the Melbourne Cup. However, the 3-kilogram penalty she had received following her easy Caulfield Cup win was a worry.
I didn't say much because I thought it wouldn't help, and as a public figure people seem to interpret your statements in various ways, but privately I anguished. She would have had to have set a weight carrying record. It was at least 2.5 kilos more than Light Fingers had carried when she won the Cup.
Melbourne Cup Day 1974. The total of 97,163 people flocked to the Flemington racetrack. There was a betting extravaganza on the day, with TAB, on-course tote and bookmakers holding $10.25 million, an all-time record. Down onto the very famous flower-bedecked racetrack, we saw the parade, led by Battle Heights, Gala Supreme, Igloo, Passatrul, Corroboree, the famous mare Leilani, who'd taken the Caulfield Cup with a great splurge of speed. Grand Scale, High Sail, Lord Metric, the New Zealand performer, the Grey, Gay Master, Pilfer, Piping... All set and they're off and running. Tara's Bulba down near the inside was one of the first to get out, with our Pocket, who began very, very fast, and so did Passatrul, showing pace. Leilani began like a flash, and already she's crossing over towards the inside into a bit of posse, and wider out is Herminia, who got out fast, and so did High Sail, zooming up on the outside in search of the lead. The feature of the first 200 metres was a fantastic ride by Cook to get Leilani into a good posse, and as they run down, linking up with the course prop at the 400-metre mark, it's High Sail by 3 lengths to Leilani, who's gone over to the fence on the inside of top order. They're followed by Igloo facing the shadows 3 deep off the rail. Over on Corroboree. Along the back now, and High Sail is coming back to the field. She's only about 4 lengths in front of Sequester on the outside of top order. Leilani's getting a charmed run. If she's good enough, there'll be no excuses. There's Passatrul. Battle Heights are starting a run from well back in the field. In behind them came Tara's Bulba. Igloo is up on the outside, a length and a half to Herminia. They're followed by Turf Cutter. Gala Supreme is forced to go wide. Another length and a half away is Piping Lane tucked away on the inside. Gay Master pulled off the fence for the first time. They're followed by Pilfer giving away a long strut. So is Passatrul, dropping back there very sharply. Was Big Angel. She dropped ground. Think Big is about third last. Next to last is Our Pocket, and Corroboree has tailed off. 800 metres left to run now, and Sequester's gone to the front, the bolter. Moving up on the outside to have a crack at it is Passatrul. Gala Supreme and Igloo are still nice and handy as they start the run around the turn, where Sequester is the leader. Battle Heights has worked its way up into the picture very quickly, and they're followed closely on the outside by Igloo as they make the turn into the straight, and look at them come from everywhere. Battle Heights is up going for the lead now. On the outside, coming out to have a crack at it is Igloo. Leilani is looking for a run between them, will need it. And here comes Captain Perry down the outside, and Turf Cutter. Turf Cutter is mowing grass. Battle Heights went to the front of the 200-metre mark from Leilani. Captain Perry on the outside then is Turf Cutter and Thing Big. Leilani is getting to Battle Heights, and on the outside, Captain Perry. Leilani just in front. Thing Big is picking it up down the outside, and Thing Big has got up to win the Cup. Thing Big has won. Leilani is second. Third of the race then was Captain Perry. Fourth was Turf Cutter, Lord Metric, followed after a gap by Piping Lane, Herminia, Igloo, Grand Scale. Battle Heights stopped very badly. They're followed behind them by Bellotta, top order, then Gala Supreme, followed by Corroboree. Then came Sequester at the head of the others, then Game Master, followed by Our Pocket, Pilfer, and the last two to come in, or last three rather, were Passatrill, High Sail, and Big Angel almost did not complete the course. Number 13, Think Big, Harry White is the winner. The official placings are 12, 6 and 15. Number 12, Think Big, Harry White first. Bred by the executors of the estate of the late L.A. Alexander, owned in partnership by Mr. R.J. O'Sullivan from Brisbane and Kuala Lumpur businessman Mr. Tam. Trained by Bart Cummings, ridden by Harry White. Think Big, a 4-year-old bay gelding by So Big out of Sarcelle. Melbourne Cup, Think Big, gives Bart Cummings his 4th Melbourne Cup winner. Having trained Light Fingers in 1965, Galilee in 1966, and Red-Handed in 1967. To make his record a more magical one, Bart Cummings, in having trained the 2nd place getter in this year's Melbourne Cup, namely Leilani, has quinilled the great Melbourne Cup 3 times. Incidentally, to win the cup, Think Big has won, Leilani is 2nd.
The two that unquestionably stand out, the pluck and just sheer determination she showed in the Melbourne Cup. And that's only overridden, and I'm glad it is because it was a disappointing result, by her performance only a few days later in the Queen's Cup on the Saturday, when she stood outside a Gala Red up. I think he had more than 10 kilos advantage over her. It was certainly a significant advantage. And he went to a 25-length lead, and she took the field up to him and then just motored past in the straight and went home with Roy riding her, being eased down, and that for a moment swept away the disappointment of Cup Day.
But Leilani asked for the effort at the 300. It's Gala Red about 3 in front, but Leilani's got it covered. 10 lengths away then, Battle Heights, Fort Hagen and Grand Scale. Leilani's raced to the lead. Gala Red in 2nd placing, and then Battle Heights, Fort Hagen. But Leilani's going to coast to victory, about 4 lengths to Gala Red. Battle Heights ran 3rd, ahead away then Fort Hagen. 6 lengths to Lord Metric. It was followed then by Grand Scale.
Leilani's outstanding spring form attracted an offer to race against Europe's best in the King George and Queen Elizabeth Stakes.
It would have been the opportunity to race against Ale France and Dahlia, the great mares of North America and Europe, and that wasn't to be, so we could never test her on the international scene. I often think that were she racing today, I don't think there'd be much hesitation picking up the offer.
White's greatest moment. He has had Hurry Hotspur as being niggled at to try and lead. On the outside of Chefmar, there followed by Bouverie, dropping back on the inside of Leilani. Then came Classic Conquest. Next to last is St. Martin and Safe as last of all. 8 lengths cover them, and the pace is pretty good out in front, where now the rider of Authentic Air took a hold of it and dropped in behind Hotspur. Going up the hill, it's Hotspur, the bolter, by a length now to Authentic Air on the inside. And as they go up the hill, the pace is still pretty good. Leilani's moved up on the outside to be running 2nd. Now putting Bouverie pocketed on the fence, and on the outside of them came St. Martin and Safe as last of all. Running down the side now, 650 metres left to go. Hotspur the leader, but Leilani is breathing fumes of contempt right on its tail. A length off to Chefmar on the inside. Authentic Air. Rafika's got itself very snookered in on the inside. Now it's pushed out as they start the run down past the 400, coming around the turn, and Leilani on the outside has gone to the front in a stride from Hotspur. Chefmar is out after it, so is Classic Conquest, and getting a run through in the middle now is Rafik, but the Bonnie mare, Leilani has dashed away. Leilani holding Authentic Air. Chefmar, Rafik can't go on. Leilani the leader, and it's got it won, Leilani, and Higgins said, "You lovely little girl." And Leilani's won by a long neck to Authentic Air. I'd say Rafik may have got 3rd, or Chefmar. Safe finished fast on the outside. Then came Classic Conquest, Bouverie Hot.
Picking up the offer.
Leilani returned in the autumn of '75 to win 3 successive weight-for-age races.
A length to My Friend Paul, and on the inside of it, Munasta. All shot stretching out, but Leilani's got a break. All shots starting to run home hard, but Leilani 2 in front. All shots flying in the last little bit. Leilani in front, however, and she's too good. Leilani's won at 3/4 of a length to All Shot.
Even though the brave little mare was winning, her jockey, Higgins, was worried.
Each time I'd come back after the race and say, "Bart, I don't know what it is, but there is something missing." I said that real ping is just not there. It's there's some little thing, whether or not it's you know, she's not coming up this preparation. And when we start talking about champion, I'm talking about that's just after winning. I said, I just doubt whether she's back to what she used to be at this particular point. And he said, oh, well, you know, we'll just keep pushing ahead. And come the...
Thanks to Leilani bolting. A length and a half further back is Runyon trailing Leilani. On the outside of it, Mr. Pompous has it snookered on the fence. Bushwin is pushing up on the inside of the Hun and Gala Red as they go right down towards the 650-metre mark, approaching the turn. Leilani is closing fast on Forest Boy. Mr. Pompous going with her, and there'll be almost a line of three on the corner where Forest Boy is just in front of Leilani, still cruising. On the outside, Mr. Pompous, Runyon tucked behind them, badly needing a run, and so is Bushwin. At the 400-metre though, and Forest Boy is now being tackled by Leilani. Dropping off is Mr. Pompous. Going through along the inside is Runyon, but Leilani has about a neck in front here of Forest Boy there, followed to the head of the others by Runyon. Leilani gradually getting clear from Forest Boy. There's not a great deal in the margin, but Leilani, sweet Leilani, the heavenly flower I told you about from Honolulu, greets the judge and says, thanks very much, fellas, we've had a real ball.
Australian Cup after what I thought was an unimpressive win at weight for age prior to the Australian Cup. And then she was to come into that race with a pretty hefty weight on her back under handicap conditions. I must say I doubted her chance of winning that particular race. And when you put the result back down, yes, it was courage. That was courage that won the race.
Leilani's win in the Australian Cup was the high watermark of her career. She missed the spring of her 5-year-old season, but returned...
Warneat coming down the side of the track is about 4 or 5 lengths in front of Lord Dudley, but Higgins is sitting hard and strong against it. It's going like a Rolls Royce, don't worry about that. And 10 lengths away third is Millerton Road. Coming down past the 800-metre mark, and Warneat is trying desperately to get the second money, I reckon. It's led 2.5, 3 lengths to Lord Dudley, slowly but surely putting the pressure on, and about 5 lengths to Millerton Road. At the 600, coming around the home turn, Warneat faced up first around the corner, about 1.5 lengths in front of Lord Dudley, with Higgins getting a grin across the face. More coming up, Roy. In third placing, Millerton Road, who's made up tremendous ground too at the 400-metre mark, and little Warneat won't give in. Tell you what, I'm pleased Higgins hasn't got the same stranglehold on me that he's got on Lord Dudley, and fair dinkum, Lord Dudley, under 3 wraps, moved up on the outside of Warneat. Millerton Road is plodding on pretty well, but Lord Dudley goes to the front with 100 metres to go. Fancy getting all that money for that much. He's now won $72,000 this afternoon, Bart Cummings, and Lord Dudley went to the post, and fair dinkum, you would have clocked him at about double time. 7th of March 1975, 9th Craven Tilt, Miracle Mile.
Down near the outside was best to begin effective system, and Roylands missed it with Mantilla and El Kalin. Top Charger well served. Toy Show coming across. Classic Reward is going to burn through, and then St. Louis Blue. At the end of 200 metres, and the leader narrowly, Classic Reward, joined by Toy Show. Then St. Louis Blue, dance a lot. Top Charger, King's favourite. A length of the quarter at Rosier being passed by hand, and then El Kalin over on the inside of Denise's Joy. Gloomy Isle, effective system. A long margin in the field, the forgiving, and then comes Roylands and Mantilla's spotting them up. Big start as they run along the side, and it's still Free Show. A length and a half to dance a lot, and then St. Louis Blue followed out deep by Hamden. Back on the fence is King's favourite, and Rosier centre field, but Toy Show raced to the lead at the 300, and bounded away Toy Show. 3 on Classic Reward, dance a lot, Hamden. Rosier's not doing enough, and then comes Denise's Joy, but Toy Show leads by a big straight with 100 to go. Denise's Joy working into second place. Toy Show's getting tired, but she's going to be too good. Smith going around the Quinella, but Toy Show wins the slipper brilliantly from Denise's Joy. Rosier third from El Kalin. Hamden, St. Louis Blue, Dance a Lot, Dizzy Spell, Forgiving, Roylands, Classic Reward, effective system, Mantilla, King's favourite, Gloomy Isle, and Top Charger was last.